Gen Z's teen pregnancy rate is 78% lower than 91. 31% of millennials drink regularly, only 18% of Gen Z's drink.
Yep.
A third of Gen Z doesn't even drink. This has never been observed.
Right.
They're completely abstinent.
Right.
They are more frugal than millennials. They are more health conscious. Yes, this obsession with social media and the phone, although may have produced this thing, are we not then going to credit this thing with this huge leap forward this generation's taken? All this promising stuff we know about them? I mean, I know of the anxiety depression figure, but that's to me one metric out of like 6, and they're like thriving in the other departments.
Well, you say they're thriving. That's an interesting choice of
Improving.
words. Okay, okay. On a number of metrics, their behavior is better. On a lot of the self-destructive metrics, their behavior is better. That's all true. Now, does that mean they're thriving? Why are they not drinking? Why are they not driving cars? Why are they not dating?
Why aren't they getting pregnant?
Why are they not getting pregnant? Why do you think it is? Because they're so wise? They decided, you know what, these are risky.
Because they're not with other people.
They're not doing anything.
They're not being
If
social.
you're just on your bed all day long scrolling through social media, then you're not going to be doing any of those things.
Dang. Was that Dax? That wasn't.
Yeah, that was Dax.
Dax?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't even know he had a podcast, but I had came through that through my reels, and it brought me to the drug use, and it kind of the reason I pulled that video is because I had seen that stat about Gen Z is having less sex than we had. They are drinking less than we were.
Fucking nerds.
Yeah, well, that's losers. But that's kind of where I was getting at it with. It's just like we lived a social life. We didn't live a social media life. And this is the issue that I have with today, where there is positive stuff that comes with the social media stuff because we get to learn more. But you know, what is it doing too when you're staying in it longer?
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're at, where we're constantly having arguments about real life shit, but most of these younger kids that we're having arguments with or have disagreements with us aren't even living real life shit.
No, they just see it on social media, and they're taught like this. It's like, I don't know, ideology, and then they think they know everything, but they don't actually.
But everyone thinks they know everything at that age, right? Like, I think that, again, when I was growing up, I felt like I knew everything. And I was like, oh, man, I was done before the age of 25. I said that before. I just don't think kids are fully adults until they're 25. Their frontal cortex is still being developed until they hit that age. And then I think they get a little bit more set in what their true thought process is. Now, I mean, that's actually kind of, again, like I said, a double-edged sword, where that social media is giving you a lot of like information, and you can be more health conscious. You can have like more resources that help you kind of mitigate some of those things. But I think it's also from anxiety, like they were saying. They have some of the most, like, that higher anxiety, so that they don't want to go out into the world. And I actually don't want to go out to the world anymore. I did it so much when I was in my 20s. People freak me out now. I don't want to go to the rodeo as much as I used to. I don't want to. There's shootings everywhere. I mean, like, I'm getting to the point where I feel like I'm also more anxious, right? But I mean, that's...
But you lived that life where you went out and went to the rodeo.
Experience.
And did these
experiences. Because it really is experience.
Yeah.
Right? It's actually going out there, living it, living the moments.
But now we
being
all...
like, oh shit, that shit was scary. I made it home. These people don't have those. You know?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I look back now and I'm like, I tell Zach all the time, he'll tell me another story. Like, randomly, we'll be sitting there cooking. He's like, man, I remember this time it's the most wild story. And I'm like, how are you alive, dude? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how?
Exactly. Because you have, I mean,
but now I'm okay with my son not doing those things. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with, you know, I think it's also, I look back and me and my best friend, Miss Carol, who me and her did some crazy stuff. Like, we talk to each other all the time. We're like, man, how did we not die that day? How did we not get how did we not get abducted? How do we not get run over? How do we make it home? Now you hear all these like Netflix documentaries about how people didn't make it home, right? And I think that also plays into it, not just social media, but like now they can see all these horror stories. right? It makes you not want to.
That makes
go
that
live-
amplifies the risk.
the fear.
Or the possibility of something going wrong, you know.
I think that's the right word, that it amplifies it, because I think the risk is always there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%.
And-
And it is to all of us to this day, you know, it's always there. Anything can happen at any moment.
It's the
But-
catchphrase: unlock new fear, right? Like,
Yeah.
or new fear unlocked, right?
Take
You see
risks.
one more thing, and then boom.
Take chances,
Yeah.
you know, but also the grace of God, you know. I mean, because we as young kids, the front lobe's not developed. We don't have that safety first.
Yeah, we don't.
You know, so we're just kind of like, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna create a memory and a story to talk about later. That's what matters, you know.
Yeah.
And then if we make it, it's something we can laugh at.
Yeah.
If not, it's
And
something
a life
like-
lesson, though.
Yeah, if something
Yeah.
went wrong,
Yeah.
it's a life lesson. Somebody suffered, but we learned that. We went
I
through it
think
too.
that's
you know?
a part of life that you do need.
Yeah,
You know that everyone needs to go through some sort of strife,
Mm-hmm.
some conflict
a lot of it.
Some real life,
I
think
real
a lot
life
of it,
experiences. Yeah.
within you don't need to be out there gang banging.
Right,
Right,
right.
But just living with your friends. Because when I was growing up, I got to see how it can be like with at home and staying online. You know, we were going out, and then all of a sudden the internet came out, and I didn't go out as much. You know, we used to go ride bikes, and instead now we're at home playing RuneScape. I
Yeah.
don't know if you're.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
an online game. You know, we're just
Because
hours and
once you
hours
can play
on-
with people across the city
Yeah.
or the state, you know.
And then my mom was like, you guys don't want to go ride bikes today? Go out and take the 4-wheeler? We're like, well, I got to get this next level.
Yeah.
And then
We're on another planet right now.
yeah. So,
Yeah, that's true.
and now it's
Okay.
even, like tenfold.
Yeah, because I mean, we were talking about like being hunters and gatherers. Like you had to go out and learn how to survive. You had to go do these things to feed the family, feed the village. You had to know what the dangers were because you experienced the dangers, and that's why we're seeing these anxieties in these kids. In my opinion, is because they haven't felt any of the real dangers. The real dangers they're feeling is someone speaking mean to them.